I used to think my life was over before it even started. From addiction, prison, burns, hospitalization, struggling, trying to find a job with a criminal record, difficulties because I wasn't educated. All those rock bottoms, all those difficult times made me the person I am today. And that's why I always tell people, it doesn't matter where you've been, it's about where you're going. Because if you really play your cards right, if you really are willing to struggle for a short amount of time, you're gonna get a lot further than you ever thought you'd get. Because that, at the end of the day, we all doubt ourselves. We all think things ain't possible. And the majority of the time, we don't think things are possible because we never accomplished nothing that seemed impossible in the moment. But once you do that once, twice, you think that the sky's the limit. Because that's my mindset now. My mindset is that I could accomplish anything I want to accomplish. And there's nothing that could stop me. But why is that? It's because I did it against all odds. Prison was supposed to be a revolving door. In and out the system since I was a juvenile. And it didn't become that. Life is great, man. And there's nothing for us behind those bars. But yeah, it's there because we made mistakes. We do things we shouldn't do. So it has its place, right? But if you go there, grow from it. If you go there, learn from it. Don't make the same mistake twice. Because you're a fool if you do. Because at the end of the day, it should be a learning lesson. Go in there, read some books, think about what you did, what you're doing, what you did, what got you in that spot, what people were in your circle that got you there. Was it you as an individual? Maybe you need to actually get some mentors that are going to be able to set you in the right track. Because there's always something that leads us down that path. And once we find it out, then that's when life changes. Because for myself, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think that I was capable of doing anything. I'm just an essay coming up from the neighborhood with no real influences or role models. I just knew that I didn't want what I didn't want to be. So in a sense, I did have role models, but I looked at them as, I don't want to be like this person, so I need to do different. I don't want to be like this person, so I need to do different. So that's why I always tell people, you really need to take into perspective of what's getting you in these sticky situations, or what person is getting you in these situations. That's why me, majority of the time, I'm MIA. I work, I spend time with my family, building businesses. I'm trying to mentor people, trying to help people out that been in similar situations as myself. And that's why I make these videos, man. A lot of people say, that, oh, no one cares. Or, oh, like, nobody cares about your story. And I don't care if nobody does, to be honest. But I've gotten multiple messages from people that say, because of your story, I'm going to try to do this. Or because of your story, I'm going to try to do this. And that's why I do it. I do it for that one individual that's listening, that it could motivate to be able to try and go and accomplish something. Because at the end of the day, I know how it feels to feel alone, to feel like we can't get an education, or we can't get into a professional field because of our criminal record. We always think that we just could get labor jobs or construction or, working in the oil fields or truck drivers. And they're all great careers. I'm not knocking on any of them, And I've been a truck driver, I've had my Class A license. I've worked in the oil fields, and they're great professions. And the only reason, to be honest, that, that's why I say things happen for a reason. I think God really paved the way for me. Is because of my burns and my skin grafts, and I don't have no sweat glands on my legs. I couldn't tolerate the heat that well. So I was always getting sick. So because of that, because I would just sweat an excessive amount through my head, and I can't sweat from my legs. So my body would always overheat. And when that started occurring again, that's when I'm like, you know what? I need to do something. I need to get into, like, in education. I need to go back to school. And my physical therapist started mentoring me on what I needed to do to get started. So that's why I always tell people, man, you know, they're great careers, but don't limit yourself. You could get an education. You could become a real estate agent. You could become a life insurance agent. You could become a nurse. You could become a doctor of physical therapy. You could become a physical therapy assistant. You could become a CODA. You could become an occupational therapist. You could become a speech therapist. Is it going to be more challenging? Yes. Can you become a nurse practitioner? Yes. A physician assistant? Yes. A medical doctor? Yes. But it's going to be more difficult. Yes, it is. Because now you have to prove to the board that you were a changed man. So do enough to show that you are a changed man. Don't just do the minimum. So that's why for myself, I always strived high. I needed, I don't remember the hours, but say 300 hours, observational hours. I got 1,000 something plus. They said that I needed to have at least a 3.2, 3.5 GPA. I got a 3.7 and a 3.9 GPA. They said that I needed to have like volunteer hours other than work and physical therapy. So just so they could say I'm in the community also giving back. I went and volunteered multiple different places, spoke to at-risk youth, got a bunch of different references from other professionals. So do we have to do more than the average? Yes. But to be honest, like, I did that on myself, right? I'm the one that messed up as a youth. And yeah, as much as the system is messed up, I worked hard for that second chance. And that's why I'm here today. So don't think that your circumstances of what you've been through are necessarily stopping you. You just gotta work harder. You gotta get up earlier. You gotta stay up later. You gotta study more. You gotta put in more hours. Because at the end of the day, if you do that, who's gonna stop you? Let's get it.